Right, so 3 days ago, Hazbin Hotel Season 2, Episodes 1 and 2 dropped on Amazon Prime Video, and the season is being released in batches throughout the month, with 2 new episodes coming out every Wednesday. The 2 episodes we've begun so far are titled New Penches and Storyteller. The season basically picks up right after where Season 1 left off, but this time the main villains are not Adam and the Angels, it's all about the V's. And honestly, it's so nice getting to see more screen time for all the characters again. But there is a ton of new stuff to talk about, and I'm super excited to break it all down. In this video, I'll be going over what happens in both episodes, talking about the songs, pointing out some small details I noticed, and sharing what I liked and what didn't really work out for me in the end. And of course, at the end of the video, I'll give my overall thoughts on how the season's starting off. So let's jump right into it. Starting off with episode 1, the first thing we see is a shot of hell itself. While that's playing, we hear Katie Killjoy talking on the news station about the Hazbin Hotel. She mentions how it's been about a month since Charlie stopped the Angels from doing the extermination. Then, we cut to the hotel, and it's total chaos. The main lobby is packed, news reporters everywhere, random demons trying to cause trouble, just madness. Vaggie then finds Charlie crying over some statues of Sir Pentious, and he tries to get her to help out with everything going on. But Charlie pretends she's fine, when she's not. She wipes her tears away and jumps back into the chaos. Next, we cut to Vox in his news studio with Katie. He's mad because she said anything positive about the hotel. She quickly changes her tune, saying she'll only report negatively from now on, mostly because Vox sponsors the whole thing anyway. Back at the hotel, Angel Dust is chatting with Cherry Bomb, and you can tell that Cherry still mentions Sir Pentious deep down a lot, but she tries to hide it by acting tough. When Charlie comes back downstairs, we finally meet a new character fans been waiting for several years, probably even 5 to 6 years from now, called Baxter, the crazy scientist. Charlie instantly sees him as a new version of Sir Pentious though, and even keeps mixing up his name as Pinkster and Sir Pentious and stuff like that. Then we get our first song of the season, Has Been Guaranteed, Trust Us. Well, Charlie sings about how great the hotel is doing, but halfway through, Vox and the V's interact with their own part, the better part anyways, bragging that their tower is way better and telling people to ignore the hotel. When the song ends, everyone starts bombarding Charlie with questions. She's clearly overwhelmed, so Lucifer steps in and takes her away to calm her down. We then go back to Vox's office. He's got this robotic shark pet that looks super cool. Velvet and Valentino then come in, and they start talking about Vox's big plan to take over both hell and heaven together, all at once. Then we cut to Lucifer's room, where he and Charlie appeared out of nowhere. They have a really emotional talk about how Charlie's handling all the pressure. The conversation shifts to her mom, Lilith. They both talk about how much they miss her so much, and Charlie decides to try calling her. She gets no answer, of course, so she leaves a voicemail instead. Back at the hotel, Vaggie's trying to come up with a new name for herself, and Charlie finally works up the courage to tell everyone who wasn't there for redemption to leave. And yeah, everyone actually leaves. The hotel goes quiet again, but with Baxter being the only new guest who stays. Cutting back to Vox's office one more time, he's explaining to Valentino again how they're gonna take control of everything, heaven and hell included. Valentino asks how they're even supposed to get up to heaven, and that leads right into the second song of the episode once we get up there. Honestly, it's such a banger, and they think about how once they reach heaven, they'll have everything, power, army, status, Valentino's wet dreams, all of it. The episode wraps up with a small scene between Charlie and Vaggie. Vaggie promises to take over some of the hotel's work to help Charlie breathe a little bit. Then, another news segment from Katie Killjoy airs, totally trashing Charlie and painting Vox like some kind of god. Right after that, Emily suddenly shows up and tells Charlie that Sir Pentious was actually redeemed, meaning the hotel is working. Charlie then has another emotional breakdown and screams in agony, and that's where the episode ends. Right away, I noticed a big improvement in quality this season. Everything feels way more polished. The pacing, the writing, the transitions between scenes, it all just flows much, much better and smoother. Having the V's as the main villains too honestly works so much better in my opinion, and the songs this season are easily a big step up too. If I had to point something out though and nitpick a bit, I kinda wish there were a few more little details or Easter eggs sprinkled around for fans to spot. Stuff like that always adds personality, and Hazbin Hotel used to do that a lot, especially with the pilot in its first season. Now about that first song in episode 1 of season 2, Has Been Guaranteed, it was decent, but not one of my top picks. I still think a few of the first songs from season 1 hit harder overall, like Poison and Respectless. And then there's that one scene where Valentino hits Angel Dust multiple times. Yeah, that one's already getting people talking online. Some fans aren't too happy with how Val's being written in the show, and this scene's probably just gonna add more to that conversation. But we'll see how it develops as the season goes on. Anyways, moving on to episode 2, Storyteller. Episode 2 starts up with Sir Pentious chained up in the middle of Heaven's courtroom. The angels are arguing, questioning how someone like him from hell even made it up into heaven there. Sarah's trying to get answers, but is clearly refusing to believe redemption is actually possible. Then we're introduced to the Speaker of God, a calm, gentle angel lady who tries to get Pentious to open up about his past. Then he explains that back in the 1880s of London, he ignored a woman being killed and was sent to hell for it. Later, he fought against Adam to protect his friends and to make up for that same mistake. And when he died, that's what finally earned him his redemption into heaven. After some more back and forth between Sarah leaving the other angels, Pentious is finally accepted into heaven. Then we switch over to Lilith, who's relaxing in a peaceful jungle area, ignoring tons of missed calls from Lucifer and Charlie. She gets a message from Luke saying she's off the hook for now. Then we cut back to heaven, where Emily shows Pentious around and sings Like You, explaining what life in heaven is like. But afterward, Pentious falls into despair and almost ends it all, and right after that, Sarah and the speaker sing Sarah's Confession, a song about guilt and regret over the past exterminations. Meanwhile, Lilith is furious. She starts hallucinating Adam out over grief and rage, and potentially love. Hey, who said that? Then she sings the episode's third song, Gravity, which is so good, and it is honestly one of the best of the season so far, about her vowing revenge for Adam's death. But at the end, Sarah decides to put all of heaven on lockdown under a massive protective dome. And then Emily opens a small portal to talk to Charlie, and that's where the episode ends. This episode was really solid. The animation clearly stayed as strong as the first one, and it was awesome finally seeing what happened to Pentious after he arrived in heaven. I really like the introduction of, more angelic characters, especially Abel and the Speaker. They added a ton of personality and depth to the story. But if I did have to nitpick just a tiny bit, I think having 3 songs in a single little episode was maybe a bit too much, especially since Like You and Sarah's Confession are so close together. Overall though, these 2 first episodes of season 2 were completely worth the wait. It's great seeing more of characters like Vox, Valentino, and Velvet who didn't get much focus before in the first season. The music this season feels a lot stronger too, like Gravity and Once We Get Up There especially stood out to me, with Once We Get Up There being my ultimate favorite. I also love how the new characters, Abel, Baxter, and the Speaker, open the door for new dynamics and storylines we haven't seen before. The writing feels tighter and more balanced compared to the first season. Honestly, this is the first time I've watched Hazbin content and not been distracted by constant swearing, which I'm all here for. It feels more natural now, and when the show does swear, it actually lands better. Some of the first songs didn't hit as hard for me, but that's totally subjective, and everyone's going to have different favorites and opinions on that. I would have liked to see a few more of the little background details or Easter eggs, but hopefully that'll come later in the season. Overall, I'm really extremely happy with the direction the season is going, and I honestly cannot wait to see what happens next. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out next week's review of episodes 3 and 4. See you then!